You're welcome to my channel, and in this video I'm going to be showing you some powerful tips that I think that is going to help you if you're a student. So let's get started. This is how to study fast for an exam. So you can see studying for an exam can be overwhelming, and there are a lot of strategies that I think that is going to be helpful if you can apply it. So right now, before we get started, you don't need to be the smartest. All you need to do is to understand yourself and understand your studying habit. Even if you're a slow learner, some people might learn something 10 times before actually understanding, while some people will just learn it once. So you have to understand yourself before you can understand your studying habits. So let's get started. This is how to study fast for an exam. So let's go. The first step is plan ahead for success. Don't wait for them to announce that there's an exam before you start studying. So, and you can make a schedule, break down the tasks into manageable chunks that can help you to prevent last minute cramming. So I see a lot of people where you don't study ahead of time. When exam is approaching, you start cramming things. That is, when you cram, you forget because you are not understanding at that time. You're trying to force things because the time is short. So right now, make sure that you break things in a way that you can digest it easily to prevent cramming at the end. So right now, the next one is eliminate distraction. Today there are a lot of distractions, social media, Facebook, everywhere people are distracted. So TikTok everywhere, so it's very difficult to concentrate right now. So try to avoid distraction. Now you have to create a study environment. Make sure that your study environment is well and comfortable. Make sure that your study environment is well organized, so that you can study more and you can focus. So you have to get enough rest. Don't study for 7 to 8 hours. You can study just for 30 minutes, or after 30 minutes you relax before you continue. Don't study like 5 hours continuously. Some people may say that the reason why I'm saying this is because when you work your brain too much at a certain time, you feel difficult to continue studying. But when you study like 25 minutes and you have a break like maybe 15 minutes, you can come back again and study for 45 minutes or 30 minutes again. So it's going to make you study enough. So you have to rest, you have to get enough sleep. So the next point I'll be talking about is efficient taking of note strategy. So write it by your hand. I prefer writing it by my hand rather than typing it or doing voice note. The problem is when you write it down, at a certain time it goes on your head. Study have shown that writing note by hand can help students to retain and comprehension. So I think that when you write it down, you have to understand it before you write it down. So in writing, I think it's preferable than just taking audio note on laptop or just PDF. That so me, I prefer writing it down with pen and paper. So right now, you have to highlight important point, underline them, use your red pen to write most important points, because not every point is very very important, but there are some important points, so that when you are reading your book you can highlight those important points. So you have to summarize and simplify your note. Make sure you do summary. Summary is going to help you retain those things that you can't remember, but when you summarize it, it makes it easy once you remember it. So right now, let's go to next step. So the next step is active studying technique. Active studying technique. I repeat it. Active studying technique. So active studying technique, you can do quiz, make flashback, take practice quiz, or challenge a friend to study game to test your knowledge. So you can study with smart people and try to ask them question. So while I was in school and even now, my friends were almost people who were actually smart. So I didn't work with any kind of person. So you need to be smart, because when you live with smart people, you start thinking smart. But when you live with people who don't have energy to study, very soon you will not want to study, because those people, they're not encouraging you to study. So the next step is the Pomodoro technique. So you can set, that was what I just explained previously. You can study after 25 minutes and you without resting, and you can rest for like 5 minutes before you continue. Like just studying 5 hours at once is very difficult, but once you can study like 25 minutes you rest, 30 minutes you rest a little bit before you continue. So that is the Pomodoro technique. So teach it to someone else. So when you try to explain what you have studied to some people, you will see that you explain it, you understand it more better, and you can correct your error. So let's go to the next point. So the next point is memory it and mnemonics. So number one is always create a word that you can remember. Uh, for example, let's look at example to memorize something. You can do mnemonics like home it. So which means this. So you have to first of all know this. Then you can do now mnemonics and condense all of this into smaller word that you can understand, because it's easy to understand this one than understanding all these things. But if you know all these things and you know this, you can easily, anytime you see this, you can easily cut all these things in order. So that is why mnemonics is very important. Visual imaginary. So create a mental image of any information that you're trying to memorize. Try to create the picture. Try to make it easier. Try to figure out how the thing can be. Try to create an image on your head, because anytime it's easy to store something in a form of images and clips. So once you try to break down your note and try to visualize it, try to draw it down and put it, you can do a visual imaging of what you are studying. So once you do that, thing is going to help you to retain. So there's chunking, uh, like divide the information into smaller pieces so that you can eat it very well. So like this. So I think that when you divide something into smaller pieces like here, you can easily store it, like just storing the whole number. But if you divide it like this, you can easily store the number. You can see uh, uh, 321, 321, 432. But if you write it like this, it's a little bit complicated. But once it's like this, I think it's a little bit better. So the next point is time management tips. Create a to-do list. It's always important to create your list. So break your tasks into smaller tasks so that you can actually achieve it. So order the tasks by the priority first. So you cannot do everything at once. You have to put those things that you prioritize ahead. So try to organize it, because you cannot study. For example, when you're preparing for exam that you have like 10 books to study, you have to do the tasks and divide the study schedule, because if not, you find yourself studying only a particular subject that you love. Those that you don't love, you don't have time to study it. That's what I discover. Some people like to read only a particular subject because they like it, and those that they hate, they don't actually spend much time on it. So you have to, so you say, spend more times on a subject that you don't like than the one that you like. So use time blocking. So you can create a calendar. So you create a calendar blocking off style with specific time for study and breaks. So that's what I was saying, that you can break, you can study for some time and rest. Now color your calendar and make use of the alarm. So I remember when I was trying to study at a certain time, I will set an alarm and I will not even respect the alarm. When it's time for me to study, especially the subject that I don't like at certain time, you feel it very difficult to study the subject that you don't like. For example, maybe I don't know, me, I actually love math, so I didn't hate math. A lot of people hate math. So when it was math, a lot of people just hate it. Oh shit! Another math is teacher is coming again. So no, no. When you will just develop the love for the subject, it's not going to be difficult. But when you hate it, it's going to be difficult for you. So right now, let's go to the next tip. Effective self-care for optimum studying. You have to take care of yourself. Even though you are studying, you have to stay hydrated. You have to drink a lot of water to reduce stress. Healthy snacking. You have to take some snack. Don't say that you're poor. Buy something and eat, man. And so that it will help you to study what happily. When you, at certain times, some people feel when you're eating and studying at certain time is good, but some people like chewing something while studying. So anyhow, it depends on you. So you have to stay on the high position. That means you have to refresh your mind by doing some little sport. At certain time, you can study and rest and do some sport exercise before coming back. So I think that's going to help. So right now, practice make perfect. Test yourself. Mock exams. That is why before you prepare for an exam, they always pass you through mock to make sure that the reason why I love mock is because they want to prove to you that you are not ready. They have to test you often. Maybe before you write an official exam, you have to write mock until you're tired, because they're trying to tell you that you don't know anything, because it's through that mock that you understand that you don't know anything, so that by the time that you meet the exam, you will just pass it, because you have been failing mock and trying to work hard, because when you fail mock, you will work hard because you're afraid of the exam. So but some people, I find something that really I was really scared. some people were passing mock and they thought they know too much and they were not studying that hard. But people were feeling mock, they were actually studying very hard and they passed the exam. But I'm not saying that if you pass mock, you will fail your exam. No, you can still pass mock and you pass your exam. And you can still fail mock and you fail your exam. So right now, I think that taking practice stimulate you to study more and understand that you don't know yet, so you can study more. You have to identify your weakness. It's through mock exams that you can identify that you are weak or you are strong. Because if you don't test yourself, you may think that you are strong, but whereas you are weak. So I think that trying to test yourself is going to help you a lot. So review wrong answers. Don't just say things, but you have to check that what you are saying, is it actually right? What I'm saying, is it right? You have to always review it. So review your answer, review your notebook, try to figure it out to see and review. So that is something that I think that is a plus. So thank you for watching this video. And if you love this video, make sure you hit that like button and hit that subscribe button for more content like this one. So thank you for watching. See you on the next video.